Hey, welcome back, people of the internet. It's me again, Will. Today I want to talk to you about crime victim compensation and the rights you have if you are ever the victim of a crime. Now, it doesn't matter if you are the victim of a property theft or a victim of an assault or a battery of some sort. You have rights. Now, right off the bat, I need to tell you that the procedure to actually file and to receive compensation and to enforce your actual rights varies from state to state. Most states have an actual website that you can go to and actually file and get the information to be compensated for a crime that has been committed against you. But ladies and gentlemen, there are federal laws that oversee every single state. And by federal law, the following agencies must inform you of the ability to file for crime victims' compensation and to exercise your actual rights. By federal law, these agencies must tell you how to do it. All law enforcement agencies, it doesn't matter if it's the city, the state patrol, a sheriff's department, they all must tell you how to actually access the information and to file for crime victims compensation. If you are the victim of a crime, somebody steals your lawnmower and they know who did it. They go and they catch the individual from who stole your lawnmower, and they file charges against them. At that point, right there, and you say you get the lawnmower back, but it's been destroyed, it's been repainted, whatever. You have the right to be compensated for that actual crime. And law enforcement, doesn't matter again what level of law enforcement it is, must give you either a card or the information. A lot of law enforcement agencies will actually hand you a sheet of paper with the information on it to be so you can file to be compensated for being a victim of a crime. Let's say you're assaulted. Who's going to tell you then? Is it going to be the police department or is it going to be a practitioner? Well, it could be both, actually, because under federal law, any hospital, clinic, or emergency care or outpatient clinic where you may go to receive medical treatment for an actual physical assault must notify you by federal law of how to file and exercise your rights, again, for compensation. Other places where you must be notified by other agencies, you must be notified. Any court, doesn't matter if it's your civil court, your district court, your Supreme Court, your Superior Court, it doesn't matter what level it is, they must tell you again how to file for crime victims compensation. And you have rights. You have rights as a victim of a crime that are a little bit more and access to more rights than you may actually know about. As a victim of a crime, you have the right to ask a judge and the prosecuting attorney to not plead that individual out to a lesser charge. You have that right. You can say, well, okay, this person assaulted me, and the whole thing works through the court system, and it gets to the point where they say, you know what, we're going to plead him down from first-degree assault to misdemeanor battery, and we're going to give him 60 days in jail. You have the right to go in front of the judge and the prosecuting attorney in court and state you do not want this person pled down to that charge. You want them to stand trial or whatever. It may be, for a moot point, maybe they don't have enough evidence to convict them on that level, but they do at this. And a conviction is better than no conviction. But you still have that right to go to the judge and the prosecuting attorney in court and be on the record to say you do not wish to have this person pled down. That is an additional right that the average citizen who's just out there who hasn't been a victim of a crime doesn't have. Next, you have the right to free legal representation in court if you've been, had your lawnmower stolen or if somebody assaulted you. At that actual proceeding, when you go in front of the district attorney and the judge, you have the right to free legal representation before you make a statement asking them not to plead that person down. And you also have the right to have free legal representation or a crime victim's advocate at the very least stand next to you while you make your statement in court. That is a federal right that you have as being a victim of a crime. Next, you have the right to read any statement that the individual may have made, if they stole something from you or if they committed an actual crime. They can't tell you, well, you're the victim of a crime, but you're not allowed to read what he actually said to the police department or to the prosecuting attorney. If he stole your lawnmower and he admitted to it, you have the right as the victim of the crime. You are part of the entire case. They can try to tell you, well, we don't have this information right now. If the DA has that information, his defense must have it. And one of the two must share with you any and all statements that he made regarding the actual crime that he committed against you, property or physical. You have that right, again, under federal law. Next, compensation. You have the right, if maybe you're a landscaper and you use that lawnmower as part of your actual job, and he's being convicted of that crime, and he stole that lawnmower from you, which would affect your actual ability to work. You have the right under the law, federal law and state law in a lot of states, to be compensated for work that you've lost, the potential of earned revenue because they stole something from you. Maybe it wasn't a lawnmower, maybe you're a mechanic and they stole your actual tools, or maybe they stole your car that you actually used to get to your job. You have the right, again, under the law, to be compensated for lost wages because of that. Additionally, under the law, under the compensation rules itself, and a lot of people actually miss this, especially when it comes to district courts filings, when somebody is being found guilty or they're pleading to a felony, one single felony, a theft of a motor vehicle, or maybe they stole your lawnmower, whatever the item might be, or maybe they just assaulted you and that was it, and they're being found guilty of simple assault or battery, whatever it might be. It could be a domestic situation. It could be, a complete stranger who, you're at a bar drinking with your friends and this asshole decided to punch you. If you're hurt and you miss work, you're again able to file for lost wages. Additionally, and this is where I'm backing up a little bit here, that a lot of people actually miss. You are entitled to file for if you had any other additional costs, like let's say you're unable to work and you had to hire a babysitter while you're actually recuperating from your actual injuries that this person caused to you. You are able to be compensated for that as well. Additionally, transportation to and from the actual court. If you have to take an Uber because they stole your car and your car is in the impound lot, or they recover your car and it's unusable and it needs to be repaired, you are able to file for compensation for the transportation till they make you what's called whole. They have to make you whole again in the actual proceedings itself. If you were assaulted by someone who is a domestic partner or somebody who resided in your actual household, you are eligible under federal and state laws to file for a protection order, not only for yourself, but your adult parents who may reside in the home, and you're able to file for a restraining order for your children. If they assaulted you, but they didn't assault them, you can file a restraining order for yourself, again, any adult who lives in your home, and any minor children that you may share with that individual if they assaulted you physically. Again, federal and state law under the crime victims compensation laws. You have the right under state law, and this is in every single state in the United States. You have the right in when the trial date actually comes forward, and the person is going into court to the end of it, be either take the plea or they've been found guilty. It's the verdict being read. You have the right under state law to be afforded an area for you and your immediate family. Not like, 500 of your friends and family, but you, your mother, your father, maybe some minor children, your immediate family. You have the right underneath every single state law to be afforded a separate waiting area. So you don't have to be in the actual courtroom when they take that actual plea or the verdict is read that that person is guilty. You are afforded that right. Very few people actually take that right. It can be an office, it could be another empty courtroom, it could be somewhere else, but they have to afford you the ability to be there to face your actual, the person who committed the crime against you. But you also have they have to afford you that. But that's basics for everybody. But they have to afford you a place to wait where you will not be intimidated by the actual perpetrator or anybody who is there to support them. Know your rights under the crime victims compensation programs that is in every single state, and federal law oversees and protects and makes sure that every single state does not erode the actual rights that you have. Thank you for joining me today. You have a terrific week. Hey, you've made it to the end of another video. You can go ahead and watch more content here and subscribe here. Thank you.